Hello, welcome, and kia ora. 2024, folks. 2024. Haven't we done well? Those of you who are into numerology would realise that this is a number 8 year. Yes. So, today, I thought I would share with you just how to quit things that you're my own thoughts on how you quit things, like addictions and that sort of thing, because I've had a quite a rough early life, and it prevented me from growing in certain ways, and therefore I took lots of drugs and alcohol and that sort of thing. And it wasn't until I got into my 30s that I sort of realized that, hey, the abuser in my life was actually still winning whilst I remained addicted to different drugs. Okay, so the drugs that I was addicted to was coffee, caffeine, that sort of thing. Because I felt I needed something to get me going. I was addicted to alcohol because of feeling that I wasn't worthwhile. And opiates, I was addicted to opiates, and nicotine, smoking. So the thing that really, really set me off to go, hey, I think I'm getting a handle on this now, is I realized I didn't have developed emotions. That because I'd say it started from when I was about born, conceived. Uh, both of my parents were children during World War II. Therefore, they grew up with problems of development, like lack of emotional development. It was like, in the 30s and 40s, you didn't have psychology, well, at least not for poorer classes and that sort of thing. You might have had it for, like if you're um, wealthy merchant and upwards, aristocracy, executive, that sort of thing. You might have people that you could go and talk to about things when you knew that life wasn't quite meeting up how it's supposed to. Yeah, no, you just had to sort of stiff up a lip, pull your socks up and carry on, irrespective of the harm that being bombed all the time was doing to you. And that is why I really feel for people that are in the midst of war now, because I know what it does to children who grow up feeling that life is terrible. Life may suddenly end at any time. I mean, growing up feeling that unnerved by life, like my mum has often told me that she hasn't had a decent night's sleep since she was 3.5 when the air raid sirens first started going off, and neighbours' houses would be blown up and they'd just be like piles of rubble the next day. um, that sort of thing. And people looked out for each other more in those days too. It's like there's a disconnect between people nowadays that I find really harmful for the human spirit and soul. So, yes, what I realised was because my parents didn't have certain emotional development, therefore I lacked it. And from a very young age. I got into alcohol when I was about 10 years old because I became my dad's drinking buddy. My mum gave up alcohol. She found God when I was about 6. And that was another thing that was actually spiritual abuse, because I had my own ideas. Um, I looked at the world around me and went, wow, what an amazing planet we're born on, You go oh my goodness, it's like this planet is just so amazing. It really is. And her Christian thing just completely blew that out of the water. She said to me when I was around 6, she said, well, if you're a good girl, Kez, God will look after you. And if you're a bad girl, then God won't look after you. And as a 6-year-old, as an intelligent 6-year-old, I took that on board and went, okay. And then a little while later, the sexual abuse started. And I was going, I must be truly evil. Therefore, God is not looking after me. I'm a naughty, bad, evil person. So I grew up with that. And alcohol helped to take that away from me. Like I didn't feel evil. Well, it's like blotted out all of that bad shit that I had about myself. So I relied on that rather than personal development to get me through life. And I didn't actually stop drinking alcohol until about 5 years ago. 4 years ago, actually. Yeah, it would have been just before the COVID. That's when I stopped actually depending on alcohol. So the thing that was the epiphany for me, the eureka, was that is the emotions. When I used to take opiates, that gave me the feeling of love. That I was loved, it was warm, and it made me feel good about myself, and all that other thing, all the bad stuff in the world, that just went away. I was like enclosed in the warm haze of opioids. And since that, when I took note of, like how they were actually making me feel, the drugs that I was dependent on, that was the breakthrough moment when I went, aha, this is what I need to work on, is the misplaced emotions that had never developed from childhood. Because, well, let's face it, when you're raped when you're 7 years old, it actually, they're like an emotional vampire. They steal that precious part of the essence of yourself that helps you to move through this world as your own self-motivated and confident individual. The other thing that really got me, that depressed me and made me anxious, and all those sorts of like negative emotions, anger, fear, that sort of thing, was the fact that I was born a creative, and creative thinking. I was born a creative individual. I had my own thoughts and feelings about the world, and inspirations about the world. Yes, that was, I mean, and society didn't want to know that about myself. Though I must admit that because I didn't get any therapy or anything like that when I was a child, I became very angry, both angry and frightened at this world that just seemed to want to negate everything that I brought to the world as my own precious little self, and thinking and drawing and writing, because I used to write stories and I used to illustrate them. I've been drawing since about the age of 18 months, when apparently I first drew a circle. Instead of scribbling, I drew a circle. I was given a crayon and that by my mum, and she's like, oh my goodness, that's not normal. But mind you, what is normal? We're all supposed to be individuals here, aren't we? So, yes, this was my epiphany, and I hope that if you have a New Year's resolution where you wish to not be a slave to a drug anymore, then I hope that this can be an epiphany for you too. Your emotions. Look at your emotions. Look at how, when you take your drug of choice, how it makes you feel. How does it make you feel? So how the drug fills in for you with your emotions and your feelings, that is what needs to be worked on. And that's what I have been working on. That's why I haven't been doing so many videos lately, is because I've actually been doing some deep diving. Deep diving. Like, what do I want from life? What do I need? How do I need to be for myself so that I actually treasure myself and have value for myself? Because you know the class system in England, which actually does exist all over the world, even though a lot of people deny it, is that when you're born into the lower classes, like labouring class and working class, if you show any sort of like enthusiasm for something outside of going and working in a factory, well, even to being like smart and to getting through school like really easily, and being in the top, 2% of your class through school, and being eligible for a free ride to university, or not free ride as it was anymore. Oh, I remember in the 80s, like I went back over to England in the 80s and then came back here in the later 80s. And when I came back, tertiary education cost like $50 a year. And I was like, oh, what a ripoff! $50 a year? Oh my goodness. And what does it cost now? Hey, but what does the cost of the future? Like if you're born into just a regular household like I was, and your teachers perhaps encourage you to go to university, do it. Please do it. And like choose something that is good for your heart and soul, not something that's something that's good for humanity in general, sort of thing as well. Don't miss out on that tertiary education. If you have the chance to go for it, go for it. Don't let your parents talk you out of it like I let my parents talk me out of it, and that is a regret that I live with. But at the same time, I'm moving forward from that, because, well, this is my life, and it's something that, I can, when I think about things, I can share them with you here in this format. Yes. So, look at your emotions. When you take your drug, what is it doing for you? How is it affecting you? How does it help you move forward in the world? How does it make you feel? Like with cigarettes, I didn't actually start smoking until I was in my 20s. Because my dad committed suicide when I was about 22, I think it was, and I started smoking after that, because basically after everything else that had gone on in my life, I was like just desperate to die. And so that's what it was, like a slow form of suicide. And tobacco, the nicotine, it actually latches onto the receptors in your brain. Like your receptors, your receptors in your brain, there's electrical charge that goes between the two receptors, and the coating on that is usually dopamine, which is your natural feel good sort of thing. That's the one that you go through life going, hurrah, hurrah to be me. So nicotine actually coats the dopamine, and I think with all the bad negative shit that I went through in my life, that I really didn't have much dopamine there to start off with. So that is another thing that I've been doing, like meditational sort of thing, and the healing of the connections in my brain. Because you can, we are a healing unit. If we just allow ourselves to be and encourage ourselves to be, we are a healing unit. So that's it. Yeah, tobacco, that helped to like nullify all of that negative fight, flight, freeze sort of thing that you have when you're abused as a child, and then later on in life. Because when you're abused when you're a child, my God, you just keep repeating the same mistakes and bring the same people that, because you bring them into your life over and over and over again, the abusers, because that's what you think that you are worth. And when you're not bringing other abusers into your life, you bring yourself as your own abuser and victim into your life as well. You abuse yourself with drugs. It's crazy, hey? But hey, so since I've made these steps forward, I really, really, really wanted to share this with you. So hopefully you won't come to January the 17th and go, my New Year's resolution just isn't working and I'm going to go back. My change hasn't happened. Change? My change? What change? It's not worthwhile having a change because look at the state of the world around us. I hope, I really truly hope that your change that you have felt so inspired to make in your life for 2024, because it isn't number 8 year. Google it, Google it. You're just going to go, oh my goodness. And if you're into the Chinese astrology, it's dragon years coming up. Yeah, magical, powerful, just for you. You take advantage of these good vibes. And also, what I recommend is if you're trying to, like change your life for the positive. I won't say give something up because it's like that almost sounds negative, eh? Oh, I'm going to give something up. I was like, oh, I'm missing out on something now. When you're not, you're actually taking charge. You're taking control of your life. You're not giving something up. You're making positive change. So I really recommend is exercise. Especially with giving up nicotine. Like the you get weight gain. I mean, you get weight gain in middle age anyway because your whole body is starting to like slow down. You're not like a 20-year-old anymore. You start to slow down. And also, like when you've been through bad shit in your childhood, you tend to come down with like chronic pain conditions. Hey, Google health effects of childhood abuse and neglect. There's been some really good studies done overseas. There's nothing been done in Aotearoa yet, as far as I know. But there's been some because the more you can understand about what's happening for your body, the better you can actually make a positive change in your life. So yes, exercise. I truly recommend going and exercising somewhere where nature hasn't been brutalized by humans, such as native forests. If you've got a native forest within an hour's drive of where you live, go and walk through it. And I don't mean like, an hour-long walk has only taken me 30 minutes. No, chill, bro. You wander through that forest and you say hello to the trees. Trees are living people, Just because they don't move around at a frantic rate like you and I do, they tend to stay in one place and put their lovely little roots into the ground and stretch their lovely arms up into the sky. They are people too. Did you know that trees and plants grow better with love? Just like a human or any other animal. We all grow better if we have love in our lives. And you are the love generator. You are the love generator. Yeah. So yeah, exercise. Or like with the beach. A beach is really cool because, trees, when you go through a forest, you've got like that pure oxygen thing type going on. Where your carbon that you breathe out and you breathe out from both your mouth and your bottom is absorbed by the trees, and trees go, hallelujah, yes, we'll take that, and we will give you back oxygen. Did you know that oxygen is really, really good for your brain? Yes. Lack of oxygen to the brain can actually inhibit your growth. So get some good oxygen in ya. Go for a walk through whatever native trees you have close to you. And the beach, the beach is good because that's got the the ions? The ions in the atmosphere that come off the salty water and stuff like that, as well as that beautiful movement that you get with sea. That's like inspiring, that movement with the sea. Yes, I do recommend getting closer to nature. This is why in the past I've done videos where I'm talking about the moon and trees and plants and sky and all that sort of thing, because it's all to try and encourage you to get closer to nature. Nature is our healing thing. Since we've had the Industrial Revolution, or actually since Sumerian times when humans first started building big bloody cities and that sort of thing, and living within walls and that sort of thing. Um, the human race has become less and less close to nature, and nature is where it's at because we are part of this planet. We are born here. All our forefathers and foremothers were all born here. We all lived on and breathed the air, and we ate the food that grew from the ground. Yes, purifying your diet, eating the food that grows from the ground that you have grown yourself. And not to worry you unduly, but there is actually quite a bad nitrate problem in Aotearoa. You can actually check out a map. There is a map online that Greenpeace has done, as well as another scientific. I can't remember the scientific people that have done it, but there is a map of New Zealand with the amount of nitrates in water in different places. Places where there's been heavy duty market gardening and fruit trees, that sort of thing. Yeah, nitrates. Watch out for that because nitrates are really bad. Try and get like really clean water into your system. Drink a glass of water a day. If that's all you can cope with, then do that. That is good for you. That's helping to purify your blood and clean things out. Is for your positive change, as does exercise. Yes, exercise helps sweat, and exercise helps to replace the nicotine in your brain with dopamine, because it helps to, it makes you feel better when you've been doing some exercise. Yeah. So I really wish you all the best for 2024. I'm not too sure when I will be doing another video, because Wednesday mornings are actually going to be booked up for me this coming year. So I may just choose another day, or I might just do it randomly here and there. Who knows? Random is good. Yes. Commit random acts of kindness for yourself. Show yourself that you care. Yeah. Oh, that's right. The other thing is that you can be addicted to things other than like the drugs that you usually called like a junkie or a drug addict or something like that. You can be addicted to other things. You can be addicted to negative thinking, which you can actually get yourself out of. Yes. You can be addicted to being angry. You can be addicted to money. Yes, you can be addicted to money and the accumulation of it. Where it becomes like your be all and end all, and that's where all of your personal power comes from, is the accumulation of money. That is really sad. No, that's a bad addiction to have. You can be addicted to food. I was addicted to starving myself. So that was really bad, obviously, because when you don't eat, that's not bad. You can be addicted to overeating, because food is like your happy place. Food perhaps reminds you of when you were full and contented with your mum or your dad or whoever was your caregiver at the time. All of these different things that that help us to get through life in a way that's not self-sustaining, that doesn't care for ourselves. That's what we need to try and do, is care about ourselves, because we can't care for others and for our environment unless we care about ourselves. Hey. Oh, I wish you all the best and happiness for 2024. You take care and enjoy life. Find stuff that makes you happy and do it every day. And do your walk and have your glass of water and go, I'm doing great. Yes, you take care of yourself. And we'll see you. See you when I see you, when you see me again. Bye.